There are two kinds of cravings and unhealthy eating patterns and behaviors like overeating and undereating. One kind is purely physical and it goes away automatically when you start eating a carnivore diet. But the other kind is more emotional and it doesn't go away automatically no matter what you're eating or what you're not eating. This second kind is often talked about as the reason that people fall off the wagon. If you've heard people talk about how they had a cheat day or a cheat meal and then it took them 6 months to get back on carnivore, this second kind of eating, the emotional eating, is the reason why. And I'm an expert in this second kind of eating. So if you find that you're struggling to stay on the carnivore diet, you're struggling with these emotional eating patterns like food cravings that are persistent or behaviors that are not serving you, it's probably because you have this second kind of emotional eating pattern or behavior. There was a study done at Bond University here in Australia using a very simple method on food cravings where participants who had very high levels of craving for certain foods, everything from chocolate to pizza to cookies to chips, were asked to think about the thing that they loved eating, that they craved all the time, while they were in an MRI machine. And what we looked at, what we saw from this study, is that there were parts of their brain that were very brightly lit up while they were thinking about the food that they craved. And these parts of their brain are associated with the emotional centers of their brain, reward and loss as well. Here's what their brains look like after this short intervention, this simple technique that only took several sessions and that you can do yourself. You'll see that, first of all, their brains don't have the same lit up activation. But secondly, these people reported no more cravings. They did not crave that thing anymore. In fact, on follow-up, 6 months later, some of them had forgotten what it was that they had previously had a craving for. And I'll put the link to that study below in case you want to read it yourself and check it out. So what was used? What was the method that got this amazing result? Well, it's called EFT, or emotional freedom techniques, and you might have heard of it referred to as tapping. But the method that was used in this trial is clinical EFT, and I'm considered an expert in clinical EFT. In fact, I have a best-selling book that is based on this method. And I want to share this method with the people in my carnivore community because I'm a carnivore as well. I have been carnivore for 1 year. It's almost my carniversary. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. And I've watched so many videos, as I'm sure you have. And I've seen over and over again people talking about their struggles with persistent cravings. Even some of the top carnivore experts and influencers that I'm sure you've watched as well. It's a real struggle, and they might make videos for a while and do really well. And then suddenly they won't make videos for a while. And then they'll be back several months later and they'll be sort of feeling ashamed but wanting to be transparent and saying, you know, I went off the wagon and I was eating all this crappy food and there were various reasons and it just took me so long to get back on carnivore. Well, my heart goes out to these people because as experienced as they are with eating in the carnivore lifestyle, I know that they aren't as experienced as I am in dealing with the emotional origins of these emotional eating patterns. And so I created this channel as a way to help share this information. I want to get it out there. I want to share it with my fellow carnivores, whether you're a longtime carnivore and you've been struggling for a long time with these persistent cravings, like many have been, or whether you're new to the carnivore journey and you're wondering if these cravings are ever going to go away and not sure you can stay carnivore if they don't. And really, it can be the difference between your carnivore journey just being that an effortless experience of that first kind of craving, which is that just the physical cravings go away and you just don't care about that thing you used to crave anymore. Or whether it's something that you're always worried about, like if I have that one little slip up, is it a slippery slope? And am I going to be off the carnivore wagon now for who knows how long and have a hard time getting back on it. So imagine if you could remove that second kind and you didn't have to worry about it at all. So that's what this channel is about, because this method, clinical EFT, is so easy to learn and it's a self-help technique. But what I'm going to be doing in this channel is I'm going to be working with people, and I want to I've given you two different kinds of cravings. I'm going to now tell you 3 reasons to subscribe to this channel. Reason number 1 is that you've watched a ton of carnivore videos and you are convinced, at least in your mind, that carnivore is the way to heal your body, heal your emotional, your mental, your physical health. But number 2, you're struggling a little bit with cravings. And it could also be struggling with other aspects of the carnivore diet, like maybe there's some remaining food noise about whether or not you should be eating such high fat, and just kind of like leftover programming as well. Then this would apply to you as well. And then the third reason is that you get inspired by watching other people progress on their carnivore journey. So what I'm going to be doing in this channel is I'm going to be working with people directly, doing actual sessions with them. These are people who have volunteered to work with me so that you can get the benefit of watching me use this technique on them. You can tap along at home, potentially make real progress on your own emotional cravings and unhealthy eating patterns, as well as watching the journey of your fellow carnivores, some of whom have quite a lot of weight to lose, some have specific health issues that they want to deal with, but everybody is in the same boat. Everybody is here because they believe that it's worth trying. And it's going to be really, really fun to watch this. You'll get to know them. You're going to get to know me better and know more about my journey. And you're going to learn about clinical EFT and how to incorporate this into your life in other ways, and not just on your carnivore journey, but definitely, especially when it comes to cravings. It's so easy to just uncover the emotional roots of those foods that you crave, or of the way that you get that dopamine rush from eating, either overeating or undereating, and figure out what that is, where that came from, and then use EFT to work on the origins and collapse it, get rid of it, make it so that you aren't affected by that second kind of craving at all. So join me, watch people transform, get help with your own transformation. And if you would like to be a guest on my channel, I'll be announcing soon how you can apply to work with me, in some cases in live streams online, so that the greater carnivore community can learn from the transformation and the progress that you make using clinical EFT to help you with anything that's getting in the way of your complete success on the carnivore journey.